Hello and welcome back to the Global Cup series in Southeast Asia between Execration and Sig.Trust. This is going to be the second game as well between these two teams. If you haven't tuned into the first game, Sig.Trust managing to take it was a very unique victory for them, honestly. They completely outplayed Execration. Execration went for this very heavy early aggression with a draft with a Queen of Pain and a blinking Slaughter and a Queen of Pain. Whereas for Sig.Trust, they went for the Tiny Wisp combo, and they realized that they weren't going to win based on team fights, so they went for something a little bit more different. They went for the complete rat play. They just constantly went for objective after objective, tower after tower, and they managed to win their way off of just slowly picking apart Execration till they reached the point in the game where Execration's draft just fell off. So if you enjoyed that, let's see if we're going to be coming into something as exciting. My name's Danelie, and I'm going to be your solo English caster for this series as well. No one's come to the rescue, so I guess I'm just going to be doing this myself. But that's absolutely fine. We can all have fun together. So let's take a look at the draft so far to see what these teams are going to be scheming. So it looks like for the moment we're going to have some pretty standard bans, and for Execration a respect ban on the Wisp, so no Tiny Wisp again for Sig.Trust. There is also the standard stuff though, Doom, Queen of Pain and Alchemist, both teams just getting rid of the standard top meta heroes, because let's be honest, if they are successful for other teams, they're going to be successful for you as well. So none of those shenanigans, but it does leave a couple of other heroes in the pool. Now that includes a Tusk, Night Stalker, Darkseer and a Night Ender Wind Ranger. So all of these heroes they're definitely popular. My favorite, honestly, is Tusk though. He is just such an amazing hero. He's built in with so much disruption, annoyance, escape, defensibility. There's just so much you could do with the Tusk. It is ridiculous. You honestly wouldn't think one hero would be able to do so much, but he exists. So just got to keep an eye out on the Tusk for those Ice Shard blocks and Snowball saves. But I love watching Tusk though. Please don't nerf him, Ice Frog. I really like this hero. He's just super fun to play and watch in general. But Sig.Trust though, they went for the Night Stalker and Darkseer. So again, they go for the Night Stalker, making sure that as the game progresses, they will eventually get Ags to have that map hacks to work with. But Night Stalker and Darkseer, these two heroes synergize. That is something to keep in mind. And it's going to come to a point where Night Stalker will eventually start being a pain in the ass. And just having the Ion Shell thrown onto the Night Stalker as well is going to be an even bigger pain in the ass, because obviously you're never going to run away from a Night Stalker. So you're just going to have to, you either have to man fight the Night Stalker or hope that you can TP out after the Void has been used. So for Execration, they've got to be a little bit careful with this combo, but it's not going to be the end all die all combo. It can still be played around, and if you're ahead as well, Night Stalker's not really that big of a deal. Aside from possibly the Crippling Fear, that spell is going to be huge for the Wind Ranger until she picks up an MKB, because the miss chance on that is pretty absurd. It's 8-second duration as well at nighttime once you have that max, so 8 seconds where you're constantly missing, it's not a good feeling. So we'll have to see how this Night Stalker Darkseer does pay off. Wind Ranger though, for Execration, she's been one of the more popular mid heroes currently, and I feel like she has a more stable performance compared to some other mids. Like Queen of Pain's a great mid. She's incredibly mobile. She always has that burst damage to work around. No disable though, and her survivability, I guess to an extent, Queen of Pain and Wind Ranger are similar when it comes to survivability, because Blink and Wind Run, obviously different spells, but it really helps under certain situations. But Wind Ranger does scale much better as the game progresses. She definitely loves having negative armor heroes around her, so they're thinking of heroes like Dazzle, Shadow Fiend, even Slaughter. Slaughter can be banned out though, but heroes like that definitely help the Wind Ranger scale into the later portions of the game. I'm wondering what they want to pick up, and oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting this early of a Drow Ranger pickup for Execration, but let's be honest, this Wind Ranger is going to hurt like, well, she's going to hurt. Pretty much, and especially with the extra damage coming out from Drow. Honestly, Wind Ranger could almost bypass a damage item and just go straight for the utility item. So you always go for Ags, so never ever forget Ags. Blink Dagger and Ags are a must on Wind Ranger, but it means that she's going to be hurting much sooner than she would in a typical game with no Drow buff. So I like the Drow pickup, but it's so early. And the issue with Drow Ranger as well is that, yeah, she does a crap load of damage. She has a silence, but her biggest issue is heroes that have some sort of gap closing mechanism, or anyone that can just literally walk up next to her and soak up all the damage, because the marksmanship aura obviously goes away when there's a hero within a certain radius of Drow. So honestly, I'd be looking at here as gap closers. Night Stalker's not bad. He can actually get in front of her, and the same could be said with Darkseer because he has a surge. Disruptor, obviously a support that doesn't want to be anywhere near her. But you probably want to be picking up another hero with some sort of blink mechanic to jump onto the Drow Ranger and possibly blow her up. Because for the moment, what Sig.Trust has currently, it's not really bursty. It's got a lot of sustained damage, and they're going to be able to control the fights, but they're going to have to find out where the damage is going to come from. Because Disruptor as a support is purely situational. He's not really the type of support for when it comes to bursting heroes down. Very, very utility based for a hero. Night Stalker, obviously just there to be annoying. He's got position 4 as well, so Darkseer will be taking up the position 3. Shadow Fiend, he kind of solves the problem. He doesn't really buy Blink though. He may go for a Shadow Blade maybe to try and get around the Wind Range and just go for the Requiems to burst her up. But it does solve some of the damage issues here for Sig.Trust because they are lacking damage. Shadow Fiend's pretty good for it. He won't scale that well though compared to the Drow Wind Ranger. We need something on the side of Sig.Trust to really give them that kick in the late game, and a Shadow Fiend will help whatever hero they pick if they do decide to go in that direction. If they want to go for something with some sort of burst that can fight now, I'd possibly be looking at a Gyrocopter. He is still available in the pool. No one has banned him out, and he doesn't really need items to fight. It's as long as you have those levels, and at least you have the cooldown and the rocket barrage to work with, then at least you can compete with Execration. And oh guys, well, what a surprise, we're gonna have a Shadow Shaman this game. I haven't seen Shadow Shaman in, I actually don't know when the last time when I saw Shadow Shaman. I think it was during TI4? I think it was TI4. Was it? Or TI5? I don't quite remember, guys. TI4, because it was TI5 this year, right? Danny, what are you doing? What are you doing, Danny? But it was the massive pushing strat at TI4. I guess that was the last time we saw Shadow Shaman. It's nice to see the hero again, though. He does benefit from the Drow aura, so that's nice. The lockdown is probably the biggest thing about the Shadow Shaman, though. Just having a Hex plus a Shackle, which I think it caps at 5 seconds. Pretty sure. Yeah, max duration at 5 seconds. That's a lot of disable for a single support. The thing, though, with the Shadow Shaman is he has a similar issue with the Lion, where they're both not very mobile supports. They've got pretty crappy movement speed. Turn rate on them's not that great either. But the biggest thing is you want to get their spells down. I think also another thing is that Shadow Shaman's a little bit more unique, because if you manage to get the ward trap down, heroes have a very difficult time getting out. And in particular, if you can get it on the Shadow Fiend, he's very squishy, so he'll be very vulnerable to getting picked off by a Shadow Shaman. So, yes. The Shadow Shaman pick, I like it, but I don't know if it's gonna be amazing. It might be the playmaking hero, who knows? Because these teams obviously like to go for some funky stuff. Now, final section of bans. So it looks like Execration ban out the Gyrocopters. They were expecting Sig.Trust to actually needing a hero like him. So no Gyro, and also no Witch Doctor here for Execration. Honestly, Witch Doctor would have been great with a Shadow Shaman. You could honestly just burst anyone down from 100 to 0. Just have the Shadow Shaman Hex and Shackle, and the Witch Doctor just goes for the Maledict into the Death Ward and anyone's dead. So, nice ban there for Sig.Trust. They will finish up the draft though with an Ember Spirit. Now, Ember Spirit this game, I don't really mind it, but there's a lot of control on the side of Execration. Although for some of them they're unreliable because they either have a really long wind-up or it's just a little bit difficult to actually land it, or obviously there's RNG involved. So Windrunner Shackle Shot, not always going to guarantee catching the Ember Spirit. Drow Ranger Silence, actually that stuff needs a lot of practicing when it comes to aiming. And wow, I haven't seen this hero in so long. I've missed this hero as well. We're going to see a Puck this game. I actually really miss Puck. I cannot believe this. I never thought I'd actually say it on stream, but we're having a Puck this game. It's great though. So really nice way to actually finalize the draft. The thing though is how they're going to play this Puck. Is this supposed to be that mid Puck? Primo is playing the Wind Ranger, and let me just try to remember what Primo played last game. He played the Queen of Pain, so he's going to be a mid lane Wind Ranger. So Puck is possibly going into the safe lane, because he played the Slardar last game. Unless they go for a bit of a change, because Bocarino's on the Drow Ranger right now. This has to be an off-lane Puck, because where else would you put the Wind Ranger? Sorry, Drow Ranger. Unless they want to try and go for maybe an aggressive tri-lane, I wouldn't recommend it. But then again, though, Sig.Trust supports are not that strong in a tri-lane scenario. There's a lot you could really do with this. Anyways, we'll just have to see what these teams want to do with their drafts. Very interesting, though, to have not just a Shadow Shaman, but also a Puck appearing in Execration's draft. So we'll see if it works out for them. Otherwise, we'll see if it doesn't. Whereas for Sig.Trust, Shadow Shaman, Ember Spirit, I see these heroes together almost all the time. So let's introduce the players really quickly. So on the side of Sig.Trust, we have Nagato playing on our offlane Darkseer, going to TP in for a quick Observer Ward. We have Abba playing on the Night Stalker, MyPro on the Shadow Fiend, LK playing on our Ember Spirit, and finally we have Boomkung playing on our Disruptor. On the side of Execration, we're going to have Nando handling the Puck this game. So yeah, Nando will be playing the Puck. We have Lumic playing on the Tusk this game, so it's going to be a support Tusk, a Wit playing on our Shadow Shaman, Bocarino playing on the Drow Ranger, and finally we got Primo playing on our Wind Ranger. So we got a lot of Rangers this game. Wow, we really do have a lot of Rangers. So one thing to note is, because Drow Ranger is like 2 separate words for her name, wouldn't it make sense to just separate Wind Ranger's name? This is very minor, but honestly, I feel like just for consistency's sake, just separate the name so it just kind of makes sense. Like, there's nothing wrong with having it as Wind Ranger like that, but kind of feels wrong when you kind of compare it to a Drow. Anyways, we're going to have a massive rotation here from Execration. Can they find anyone, though? Okay, a little bit too far, and I think he may spot this in time, so he shouldn't get caught unless there's a snowball. If there's a 4-man snowball, then that could be what actually catches them out, but I don't think they'll be able to get him in time. So nothing's leveled up as of yet. Lots of woods though on the side of Execration. They're going to put one down here just to help the offlane just figure out where Sig.Trust is going to be when it comes to positioning. So for the moment, it looks like it's going to be some pretty standard stuff. Primo? No, it looks like Bocarino might get it. Who's going to take the bounty rune? So it looks like Drow's going to take the bounty rune, and Bocarino is going to be heading into the mid for Execration. So Drow Ranger versus Shadow Fiend, this should not be a bad lane for Drow, honestly. As long as she doesn't get caught by too many razors, Drow should effectively dominate this lane. She's going to have the damage advantage because she is running the Aura plus the Wraith Band, and oh goodness, we're going to have a pause already. Why are you a pause? That should be fine. So we're going to have the unpause here, so yes, you are forgiven, Puck. You are forgiven. It's okay. I will not be mad at you. It's fine. So Safe Lane Puck up against a Darkseer as well as a Night Stalker. This shouldn't be bad for the Puck. The only thing that might be a little bit scary is that during the first night time, he may effectively get shut down just because of the crippling fear from the Night Stalker. Puck is still, in general, a very fragile hero. You can definitely get caught out with this. Oh god, looks like Boomkung was the one that was going to be jumped on here by Lumic, so he does get out safely with about 123 HP, whereas a Wit copping some right clicks here from MyPro, but because the supports are providing so much help here to Bocarino, he's got a free farm. So it looks like the camps here on the side of Sig.Trust are going to be blocked out by the Tusk and the Shadow Shaman, and they might even hang around for a bit. Oh no. Oh no, MyPro. Is there a snowball? There's any shards. Oh, the shards actually might get him. No, does not block. So no death there on the Shadow Fiend, but it is going to slow down the Shadow Fiend's farm. The courier just going to be going kind of the normal way here to deliver his stuff. But the big thing though is this ward here. The sentry ward's going to block out the camp, so this means that the Shadow Fiend's not going to easily, reliably fall back just to stacking neutral creeps to come back into the game. We'll be about 2 minutes, which, let's be honest, it's not going to hurt the Shadow Fiend by a huge deal, but it will at least slow down his farm. And this might be what's needed for the Drow Ranger to just accumulate an advantage to eventually push the Shadow Fiend out of lane, because she does hurt bottom lane. It looks like we might have first blood here onto the Wind Ranger. That is not supposed to happen, and that's going to be a double kill going in the way of Sig.Trust. It's onto the Ember Spirit as well. Oh, what a disaster actually on the side of Execration. They're supposed to be getting kills, but their tri-lane just got ruffle stomped by an Ember Spirit. Like, yeah, you lose your Disruptor. That's honestly no big deal. It's a support, and we got the core. And Tusk is going to try and go for the snowball as well as the shards. Wind Ranger going to follow up with a little bit of damage. Oh, there's the Shaggle, but it should only keep him in there for a little bit. Whereas Primo taking a lot of damage. Going to be so careful. Lumic, can he get the bop in? No, he can't actually get the punch in. And Primo, because of the commitment, actually taking a lot of damage, and he has to use up his salve already. That was a complete disaster in the bottom lane there for Execration, unfortunately. That should never have happened. And Nando, Well, it looks like we're gonna have a back creep cut. Other side of Sig.Trust. So they're just gonna get rid of the creeps, and Nando's gonna have issues dealing with the next creep wave. Although he might get dove though. With the next creep wave, he could just potentially get dove, and he's got no mana for the orb either, so he has to somehow buy time. He can try and go for a phase shift, but these creeps are doing a load of damage. He needs 10 more mana, so Nando's pretty much dead in this bottom lane. Gonna try and kite it out with the creeps and Nagato, but can he get there in time? One more, he's got mana. He's gonna pop the orb? No, not even gonna bother. Just too difficult. This is an issue in that lane. If you've got no mana as the puck, you are just gonna get shut down, whereas down bottom, some action's happening down here, and Boomkung actually going to be caught in there with the Shadow Charm. A bit of a misplay there from the Tusk, actually helping the Disruptor find his target, whereas LK playing quite aggressively himself. But the Ember Spirit honestly has nothing to really worry about. There's not much burst damage on the side of Execration in this lane, and he might even be able to bully out Lumik. He actually might even catch him up. There's a snowball though. Can Primo follow up with the damage? There's the power shot. They do get the Ember Spirit kill, but it looks like Lumik won't die to Kung. Oh, it was so close, and all of a sudden Boomkung, he may try to pursue this. Stun does not latch for Primo. Windrun to catch him out. He's going to try and go for a deny, but he does get picked off here by Primo, so that's going to be a nice little win there for Execration to win that small skirmish in the bottom lane. Considering that they lost so much beforehand, it wasn't great, but Puck can be caught out, unfortunately, again in this top lane. So we're already seeing the weakness of this Puck in the top by himself. He's getting solo levels, that's fine. But without anything else, he's not that great, and the Night Stalker might get caught out here by a hasted Shadow Shaman. He just has to check the tree line. Does he see him? He sees him now. Does he? He doesn't actually have anything. He's actually level 1. Gonna try and man fight this, but look at the creep. The creep is not really helping out that much, but a whip does finish him off in the end. He got level 3 out of that too, so for a whip's gonna be super happy with this. Actually, gonna go for the shock. 2 points into the shock. Wasn't really expecting this. So I guess it's going to be the nuking Shadow Shaman. Shadow Fiend, Shadow Shaman. There's like way too many shadows. It's like Phantom. Phantom Assassin, Phantom Lancer, Phantom this, Phantom that. Too many Phantoms and too many Assassins. Templar Assassin P. Yeah, I think Icefrog needs to come up with some new titles for some of these heroes because it starts to confuse and it's just like, I can't remember all of them. So for the laning stage though, so far, it looks like it's been pretty good hit for Sig.Trust. They've got 3 heroes that are in the top 4, and the only one that's leading here for Execration is the Drow. Obviously she's on top, but you should not miss CS with the Drow. So you got the marksmanship, or you're hitting for 140, like 150 something per right click. That's not including armor, so obviously there's going to be some factors to count in. But Bocarino is farming incredibly well, so hopefully the Drow Ranger can become the pillar for the Wind Ranger and the Puck to fall back onto once the game moves on to the stage where they start having to need to fight. LK though doing pretty well in this bottom lane by himself, not really too afraid of the Wind Ranger Tusk. And poor Primo taking a lot of damage himself, although LK's taking quite a bit too. If the Tusk was here, I think this would have been a possible kill onto LK. Look at the damage he's actually taking now. Very close. And he will be able to Remnant out. So the Snowball won't connect onto LK. Well, actually it does in the meantime, but I think Lumik doesn't really want to commit onto the Ember Spirit. Gonna bottle up him, pop a Remnant. He's gonna TP home and he will come back. I did not see the kill on the Shadow Shaman, unfortunately, or the Puck guys. I'm actually worried about the bottom lane, but bit of a disaster in the top lane here, it seems. Just this Night Stalker Darkseer lane is wrecking house in this top lane. Doesn't matter who they send up there. If it's a hero with no sort of mobility, it's so difficult. And Primo gonna get caught here by LK. He should get glimpsed back here. Although the Snowball may save his life, he will tick out. No, he won't tick out. He will have the salve to keep him alive for a little bit longer, and Boomkung's gonna be the one to cop a lot of the damage from the tower. Will get bottled up by his partner in crime, but Primo, don't show your face. Don't even come out. Night Stalker, easy kill on Bocarito. Too late for the shackle. All of a sudden, a Wit looks like he's going to be the next one to be caught out here too. My Pro's going to come forward as well. A Wit going to try and go for the Ether Shock, but that's not going to kill off the Night Stalker, unfortunately. He's way too tanky, but My Pro being chased out by creeps. But who is there to catch them? Oh, Primo might be able to get it. He needs vision. He has no range. He's got no mana either. Tusk will get him. Tusk will definitely get him. Oh no, regeneration rune onto Abba. Oh god, he wants the Wind Ranger now. Windrunner as well, gonna be popped onto Primo to make sure he gets out of there in time, whereas we still have Lumik in this mid lane. I don't know if they actually knew the Night Stalker was coming, but he didn't want that happening. Oh, up top though, Nagato. Flexing his muscles to get to the puck. Stay out of my lane, you fairy dragon. You fairy. That'd be so... That's probably one of the weirdest insults I've ever come across. You fairy. I think it might be insulting in the fantasy realm, but LK going to be coming in with the Remnant. They're going to keep Bocarino in place. Is there a snowball to keep him alive, though? They're not going to bother. They know he's dead, so Lumic just going to kind of hang around. He's got mana, but he's not casting anything. He knows he can't kill LK, that's for sure. Could have possibly tried to go for a kill onto my pro, maybe, but then again, he would have been stuck into 3 heroes, so... Darkseer dying in the top lane, did not get to see that, unfortunately, so I guess it was Primo that managed to get a lucky shackle shot, more or less, onto him, so... Kills happening all over the map so far for both teams. Net worth-wise, it's still going to be Sig.Trust leading with the Shadow Fiend and the Ember Spirit. So still Sig.Trust in a pretty good situation so far, farming very well on their heroes. Whereas for Execration, they are in 3rd and 4th place, so they're not entirely bad. But they do need to somehow catch up, whether it be from kills or whether it be from passively farming. And I feel like this game, they can't really afford to have Bocarino farm for too long. He needs to help participate in the fights. He's gone for cheap items too, to somehow stay relevant in the game. He's gone for the 2 Wraith Bands to make sure he has the extra agility to help out the Wind Ranger when she tries to go for those kills. And you look at her base attack right now, it's looking pretty good with the Drought Aura. So she just has to go for a Shackle Shot and that should be enough. But Abba gonna try and go for a kill onto Nando. But unfortunately when there's help there and a phase shift as well, the animation for the Void is a little bit too slow. So, nice pick up there for the puck to finally get some revenge considering the difficulty he had in that top lane. Top there, Lumic might run into Nagato, and this might be an opportunity for the Wind Ranger to get a shackle shot. Snowball is there, and that's going to block off his exit point though, and Wind Ranger just going to go straight for the Wind Run as well as the ult too. So that's going to be easy kill there, whereas Boomkung tried to catch them out, but look at the damage he's taking. Power Shot will miss though. There is a TP from the Night Stalker, but that's going to slow him down. So no one will get picked off here on the side of Execration. They just get their nice and easy kill. And Shadow Fiend. Okay, I did not get to see this. What? So he just raised, right? Did he raise or Requiem? He just raised. 1 Shadow raise and he kills both. Okay, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. And now they're going to go for backstab onto poor Bocarino again. This guy just wants to farm. And yeah, he is definitely going to go down. He will try and go for a TP out though, but because you're a Drow, you are incredibly fragile. You're not getting out of there, my friend. So Sig.Trust just slowly accumulating an advantage in this game. And their net worth is just getting higher and higher. They don't really have anything to combat Sig.Trust as of yet. And it's very surprising. I thought Execration would be a little bit more aggressive than this. They do go for a bit of a jump here onto MyPro. Was going to pop the Requiem, but he cancels it anyway. Knows they weren't going to commit onto him. For item progression though, let's see what everyone's going for this game. So we've got LK looking to getting his drums. Boots of Travels build. So it looks like he's feeling pretty confident this game. Going to go for Boots of Travels, and Abba going to die to the puck yet again. So Nando finally able to start accumulating some kills. So considering the kind of start that Nando's had, being able to get some counter kills like that himself is great. He's slowly going to creep back into this game. And in the mid lane, looks like they want some revenge too, and this is going to be onto MyPro. This guy has 4 kills on his head, but he has a mechanism, so they need the burst damage, or they have to keep him locked down to make sure he doesn't pop the mechanism in time. So where's the snowball? Lumic has been spotted, but they don't have vision. Oh, a Wit's going to come in. They may have vision now. Are they going to go for a snowball? They won't. They get the ice shards off, but they're not really going to go for any sort of commitment. So unfortunately, a bit too deep here. I think Lumic may be in trouble. He's got the snowball, but the gust is there onto LK. Oh, Wit's being chased down by the Ember Spirit. He won't go down, but in the meantime, Disruptor gets picked off in the backside by Lumic. There are 5 heroes, or 4 heroes converging, but it's only going to be the Tusk going towards the south, whereas everyone else is heading in towards the mid lane. So Tusk should be fine. He won't be an easy kill. He will be chased up by Abba. Silenced up. Teammates are there though. There's the Hex. Vacuum in. They should be able to get the kill. And they're actually going to get a consolation prize as well onto a Wit too. So that's a bonus. Puck comes in, but in the mid lane though, we're losing heroes. And unfortunately, it's Execration heroes. There's a glimpse back onto Bocarino, our Drow Ranger, and that Drow is going to be decimated. Whereas the Puck on the backside, he wants to go for a quick off onto Abba, but he faces in towards the enemy. I don't think he wanted that, but well, unfortunately, plan kind of happened. And all of a sudden, Sig.Trust come out with a complete team wipe on Execration, and they lose nobody. They were so close to losing the Ember Spirit, actually, but he just TP's out. So this is not the game for Execration. So already, Execration is just struggling with the kind of draft that they're running at LK. He gets the ensnare. Snowball's there by the tusk though. He's turned into a chicken. He'll be shackled up though. Shackle shot won't connect. They should get the kill onto the Ember, and they do. So finally a little counter kill here for Execration to get the Ember Spirit. But they need much more than just an Ember Spirit kill. They need to get something along the lines of possibly even a Shadow Fiend on top of that. Even a Disruptor kill after that would have been pretty sweet too. But getting 900 gold in total for just killing an Ember Spirit is huge. And now Bokarina's gonna be jumped on here by the Night Stalker. But he just backs up. A little afraid here, so he doesn't really want to chase after that haste rune on Lumik. This is the opportunity. They're slowly looking for kills, and this is what they're looking for. They're going to try and jump onto Abba. Oh, there's going to be another hero here as well. The Shadow Fiend's TPing, and I don't think he wants to care. He's going to keep on going, and he's going to run into all the heroes. Snowball, they're going to finish up the Night Stalker as well as the Shadow Fiend. Can they have the damage to finish off all the heroes? My Pro's dead. LK in the backside finishes them off. Abba's going to actually get and survive a little bit longer. But look at all the heroes that are dying on the side of Execration. They can't even pick them off. Abba still survived because he's tanky as hell. And 4 heroes did it for Execration, whereas our poor Shadow Shaman, yeah, this guy is not long for this world. Definitely gonna have to go back to where he's from. So Execration, they split their damage way too much. They were wanting to go for the Shadow Fiend and the Night Stalker, but in the end, they just didn't have enough to kill off both. They got one, which was great. Not Shadow Shaman. I keep saying Shadow Shaman. The Shadow Fiend. But then after that, it's nothing else, and you lose your entire draft for it. It's really disgusting. And for Execration, they're probably just hitting their heads against the wall thinking, what are we thinking? We need to focus down the targets. Yeah, you have a lot of right click damage from the Drow, but you can't overestimate the amount of damage you have. You still have limitations. You can still get caught out. I'm actually afraid to look at the graph so far. So Sig.Trust maintaining their lead so far, and they're honestly having a really good game. So for them, it's just up, up, and away. Whereas for Execration, for them to come back, they need a lot more farm on their heroes. Their Puck has a Blink Dagger, but I don't really feel like the Puck is enough for them, and there's just not enough momentum by himself to help the Wind Ranger and the Drow Ranger become relevant. Drow's still going for cheap, cost-efficient items to come online, whereas the Wind Ranger, she's going straight for Ags, which will help her when it comes to the right-click department. But she still needs a little bit more. She's going to be jumped on here by Abba as well as LK, and rest in peace as Wind Ranger. Doesn't matter if you have a Wind Run or not, you are still dead anyway. So it's just that sort of stuff here from Sig.Trust. They can go for these tower dives, and Execration can't really do too much about it. There's just Sig.Trust are so tanky, and they know the Roshan is happening as well. They're popping down the Serpent Wards. Can they finish it in time though? My Pro, he tried to come in, but he's going to be caught out here, although he pops a mechanism. Silence stopped by the Drow. Is that going to be enough though? They're actually taking a lot of damage. He may go down. He will get picked off by the Drow, but at what cost? All of his teammates are dead. Puck gets caught back as well with the negative earn charge. He has a phase for a little bit, but the Drow is dead. And again, another complete team wipe for Execration. Sig.Trust are just steamrolling over the Dire squad, and it just doesn't feel like anything that Execration is doing is going to help them stay in the game. And I don't really know if Primo wants to go anywhere near this Roche Pit. Yeah, don't go anywhere near that Roche Pit. You can try and snipe them down, but that's going to be about it. But Primo spotted out here, earn charge through, and actually going to get the shackle shot onto the illusion, but he's pushed onto the high ground, and Appa's going to be absolutely fine. There's no more damage, but there is a Shadow Shaman on the high ground. Where's the rest of his team? There's no more damage. Power shot? 3 seconds left. He might be able to get somebody. Power shot? Can he get it? No! It won't kill Nagato. The earn charge was there to keep him alive. What a disaster. Now Primo's stuck on the high ground for 30 seconds until the BKB is... sorry, not BKB, the TP is done. That's a shame. That is a real shame. God, this net worth chart though, it's disgusting. You have 4 heroes on top for Sig.Trust. And then after that, it's all Execration till the Disruptor. But Boonkung's playing the hard position 5. This is where he's not really supposed to be, but I guess it's where you kind of expect yourself to be. If he does get farmed, then it's great, but he's just playing the hard position 5. So for him, it's fine. The rest of his team is just literally rolling in money. You got Abba here in a bathtub of Midas's. You have the Darkseer who's got Assault Cuirasses. He's building towards what seems to possibly be a pipe here. I expect it to be a pipe. And they're going to go for a smoke as well. There's an invisibility rune here for my pro too. Oh, never mind. It gets turned into a bounty rune. A little bit too late, but hey, what can you do? And Bocarino. Oh no, he's going to be the target again. He's trying to build up into a Yasha. Cheap, cost-efficient items, but you got LK. He's just going to jump right into Bocarino the Drow. Yeah, again, caught out. Doesn't matter what you do. I don't think the team was even going to reinforce him anyway because he knew how quickly he would die. Primo's still farming and Lumic is still trying to push away. But this game, it's just Sig.Trust running away. But this is completely different to game 1. Execration don't really have any strategy to fall back to. It's not like they have a Wisp that can try and go for those backdoor plays like the tiny Wisp could. They're kind of stuck with, they could try and go for split push, but it'll be much more risky considering that they don't really have a back out plan. Like they're not running a Chen that's going to send someone home. They're not running a Wisp to send someone home. They're not even running a Keeper of the Light to do that. And Abba, he sees the puck, but not even going to bother. TPs towards the bottom lane. Ember Spirit looks like he's died. And looks like Execration gonna back up here, but poor Awit's gonna be caught as well as Primo. Oh, complete decimation. And well, Lumic, what are you really gonna do? Just run, buddy. Just run. He will try and go for a TP out. He gets caught up by the Ember Spirit. Snowballs there. Can he get a counter kill at least onto the Disruptor? Looks like it's not gonna happen. Oh, this game is just turning into a complete and utter nightmare. And Bocarino, no, not again. 8 deaths. Oh, this will be the 8th. Oh, it just doesn't really feel like there's anything that Execration can do to come back into this game. It's such a dire situation for them. I don't think there's any items, there's no play. I think the only way for them to really play to come back is if they can catch a couple of Sig.Trust heroes alone, then they can get a huge, massive gold swing going in their way. Blink or no blink, I don't even think it's going to be enough. I think maybe high ground defense is going to be the last resort now, because this Drow has been set so far back. 8 deaths on the Drow. And that's supposed to be your position 1. And if your position 1 is dying that much, you know you're in a lot of trouble. So for Execration, this game is just looking so bad. Primo though, still trying to build towards the Axe. And this is considering the position that Primo was in. This is essentially a very late Axe. You would like this to be earlier, but because of the current situation of the game, it's still a decent timing. But again, this Axe is not going to swing the game in favor of Execration that quickly. He's still going to need things like a blink. He's still relying solely on the Drow Ranger for damage. And illusions are going to come up. Oh, don't get too hasty. They should know these are illusions and they will know it. Blink forward. They want to try and jump onto my pro. Can they finish him off in time? The Ember Spirits here going to completely blow up the Shadow Shaman and Primo, as well as Lumic too, just dying to the Ember Spirit. They only wanted a kill. And now Abba's here with the poor Puck. Well, this Puck might be in a lot of trouble if he gets spotted. It looks like Nando's fine. It looks like he's fine. So he'll just slowly blink his way through. Oh, I think they see him now. Nando! No, don't get caught against on the silence! Oh, this is not the game. Oh, the Observer Ward just completely screwed everything for him. The Ward spotted him on the high ground. Oh, God. Kill after kill. This game looks pretty much over here for Execration. This is disgusting. 21 minutes in, that's the net worth. This is EXP. They're just so far behind. Items, levels in particular, they're just so far behind. And Ember Spirit's 17. This is without a Midas. This is simply because this guy has got 16 kills. Like, look at the kill score. Your Ember Spirit and Shadow Fiend are right on the top. Your Wind Ranger is barely... Your Wind Ranger's barely there. Then all of a sudden, this. Bocarino. It's not because he's played bad, it's just because he's had such a rough game and there's been a lot of emphasis by Sig.Trust placed into actually killing him all the time. So at this point, what does Sig.Trust do? Are they going to still take this game nice and slowly? We still have Bocarino farming away. There is a Dream Coil put down, but poor Puck, FaZe is not going to send you back from the glimpse. And all of a sudden, we're going to have Lumic as well, chased down by Abba. Abba has an Ags as well, so this guy has the unobstructed vision. They still see him. Going to try and go for a wraparound, but can he get him? He wants to commit, but he could potentially die. I'm going to keep going with the earn charges. He will get connected with the shackle shot, though. Is there enough damage to pick him off? The disruptor's there with the ult and the kinetic field, and that's going to be the end of the win range. Bokarina backed up, going to throw the gust, but yeah, unfortunately, the Drow has to fight in her own base. So if you're fighting the enemy in your own base, this is just not the game for you. And Execration, again, they're just getting ruffle stomped at this point. They're trying to get these minor kills, but they're just too tanky. Sig.Trust heroes are too hard to kill with or without a Drow aura, and I think it's just come to the point where they're too underfarmed, too underleveled, too under everything to really come back. And these, oh god, their Surfer will just get one shot now too. So Sig.Trust just get even more gold on top of the heroes. Oh, Puck. Nando. Nando's dead. So they can't even cross this line. They cross this line, they get jumped on by Night Stalker and Ember Spirit. This is just not the game for Execration. So after a pretty crushing game 1, where they were supposed to, in theory, they were supposed to win game 1, then all of a sudden just getting completely outplayed in that game, and then going into game 2 and just getting annihilated. It's just not the game. Vacuum in, no wall. They didn't even have to throw the wall. There will be a gust, but Primary's going to slide for a little bit longer. The snowball connects onto the Darkseer. They can't even get the kill though. The heroes die before the damage is there, and Bokarino glimpse back. Easy pickup here for Sig.Trust yet again. Score is 45-15. We are probably sitting on a score. God, oh, we almost it. We're just on way too many kills, guys. Way too many kills. I guess there's no such thing as way too many kills, but so they just go for this bottom T3, and Ulwit caught out. Nando's gonna try and help out. You're gonna even pop the Dream Coil as well. TP was gonna be there, but they just cancelled. Because what's the point? Like, why would you even bother going in there? So Execration, in theory, their draft, it looked quite interesting, and I felt like it's something that could have worked, but it was just the squishiness of the draft, and they just didn't win all of their lanes. Like, Drow didn't really crush the Shadow Fiend. He was fine. Nando's gonna tick out here, but it was just that they never really had a hero to make the momentum for them. Like, Nando did pretty well by himself, but that was just himself. He couldn't help the rest of his team. The rest of his team just got completely, like, decimated. They need so much help in a wit. Can they even get the kill here onto the LK? They get a godlike. Can they get Abba as a follow-up though? The ice arrows are there, but it's not quite enough to slow him down. He is a ridiculously fast hero. Mechanism's going to be there. He will Midas as well. Shackle shot not going to connect. Going to try and fight this up, but Primary's dying to creeps here. And Abba gets out, earns himself up, and Bokarina going to get caught in, vacuumed in as well. So that's going to be the end of the Drow. Well, I don't think buybacks will really help you in this situation, but Sig.Trust, they're going to keep going. Whereas Execration, they're doing the exact same thing. Like, can they actually get the kill here onto Abba? They get the kill. But at what cost? At what cost? There is a buyback on the Ember Spirit. Oh, they actually get a nice Dream Coil, and Kong's pretty low. He's gonna have to glimmer himself up, but he breaks the coil, but he's fine. He has his Glimmer Cape already. Bokarina gonna stop. Okay, I presume he was disconnecting, or maybe he just conceded his life, thinking, guys, we're done. We are so done. And Nando, oh no, not Nando. Don't kill Nando. If you're at Nando's, just go to Nando's, the restaurant. Don't have Nando's, the puck. Poor Nando. And there is going to be a jump onto Abba, but this guy's ridiculously tanky, and Ember Spirit comes into the save. Elwit gets melted. Puck has to go to the high ground. Primary's going to melt as well. And, oh, the Darkseer. He wants the puck kill. He wants his chicken. Nando phases out. He's got the Yules available, but the GG's going to be there. And again, he wanted to go for the vacuum, but Nando manages to get out. Yule's in the air. Phase shift is there, but he's so dead. Yep. So there's the GG call there from Execration. So absolutely crushing game 2. Sig.Trust just really flexing their muscles in this game. So that's going to be the end of this best of 2 series between Sig.Trust and Execration. It looks like it's going to be a 2-0 sweep as well for Sig.Trust. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into the series. My name's Daneliecasts, and I've been your solo English caster for this best of 2 series. If you like what I do, head on over to my Twitter page and go on over and just give me a follow at Daneliecasts, DANELIECASTS. If you don't know how to spell it, you can also take a look at the stream title. It's there as well, so it's much easier to read than to spell because you're never going to remember the name. I'm sorry, guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. And we are going to be moving on to EU games, I believe. And I think it's in a couple of minutes, more or less. But anyways, guys, if you want to tune in for that, just stick around. We're going to be swapping streamers, so I'm going to be done here. I may be co-casting for that. It'll be Grant just taking over, so get ready for him. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you in the next game for GameShow Global Cup. Cheers.